You're listening to the Buffer Tube with Adam
and Paul.
So we went on a night shoot. Paul was there. A couple other people were there. Paul, what's a night shoot?
Shooting at night, good practice, good stuff to know.
We'd never done it before. We went to our favorite shooting range, and one of the friends of ours brought his generator and some work lights and shined it on the berm. And I know that sounds a little dangerous, but we are all very safe people. We are all very careful with our muzzles and trigger fingers. What'd you get from the night shoot, Paul?
I noticed that the stock A2 flash hider on AR-15s worked very well.
Yeah, there were four ARs there.
Yes, there were.
And there were 5 of us, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it worked really well. Don't believe everything you read on the internet, I guess, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we all had the same stock flash suppressor, and we're all, yeah, let's get some good footage and stuff. And I took video of pretty much the whole night, but none of it really turned out, so that's that. But pistols were cool, but they also weren't ridiculously bright.
No.
I don't know. We did have a light shining on the berm, but from our experience, I didn't deem that it was like this blinding strobe light 2 inches in front of my eyes kind of thing. Like it was a flash, but it was
a fairly dim flash.
Yeah.
Too.
Now obviously that all does depend on the ammo, and I was shooting Tula steel ammo. It's the lowest of the low, which is probably what I'd be shooting anyway. So, what else did we learn, Paul?
The AK is very bright.
Yeah, the Wasser that we brought out there. That thing is fun to shoot, but yeah, it was blinding. I was the one who did most of the shooting with that, and along with everything else, I kept shooting low the whole night. It was weird. I don't know. Just my sights weren't where I thought they were, but everything just didn't seem to line up for me. We were only shooting at like 25 yards, so that's that. Maybe next time we'll back it out a little bit, and then maybe we might get more of an effect from the flash.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed we weren't out that far.
Yeah. Yeah, that flash from the Wasser, the AK single shot, or the semi-auto AK kind of clone. That Wasser was bright, and it was crazy too, because it was definitely much brighter on my dominant eye. The one I was using to aim would go blinded, and the other one would kind of kick in. It was kind of weird. It was playing games with my head. I would have to refocus on it, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely something to know. If you were to use that in a defensive situation in your home.
Yeah,
in the dark.
You might want to look at getting a flash suppressor that they make for those.
I do believe most of them come with flash suppressors on them.
Okay, so this guy that I have has its muzzle has a welded on tip.
Thread protector.
Yeah,
basically.
So I don't know, someday we might cut that down and put something else on there, but it was just something that we'd been kind of wanting to do, and with it being the 4th of July holiday, it was technically the day before the 4th of July, we figured, hey, you know what, pretty sure it's legal. In fact, we know it's legal, but somebody might try to call the police any other day of the year, so let's do it this time. And that's what we did. Yeah, I don't know, pistols were fun. I'd say, the 22 little pistol that Aaron kept shooting was about as bright as anything else ever got, other than that Wasser.
Yeah.
We shot, like I said, 4 ARs, a Glock. There was a Ruger LCR there. There were a couple 22 rifles, semi-autos. And
our 1911.
Oh yeah, 1911. We shot some shotguns. Shotguns were, flashy, but not that interesting.
I didn't notice much.
Yeah, it wasn't much of anything. Anything else that we shot?
I am thinking that was pretty much it.
Yeah. That was that. It's still fun. At the 25-yard range, we were shooting at our, cans and stuff like that. So maybe next time around we'll move it out a little bit further and bring some tannerite with it. Some article related to the New York Times brought another concept to my attention. that I hadn't thought about.
What would that be?
It's called Guns in Frail Hands. She is a 90-year-old widow with mild Alzheimer's disease. Her son is begging her, for safety's sake, to give up something she considers essential to her independence and sense of control. "You can't take it away from me," she told him recently. "It's all I've got." Kind of makes me laugh, actually. It makes me sound like it's a dramatic quote, but anyway. This may sound like a classic confrontation with an elderly mother who won't give up her car, but it's in fact a loaded .38 caliber handgun that she keeps wrapped in a scarf in her top dresser drawer in a Southern California retirement community. She says she needs it for protection, Paul. What are your thoughts on this topic?
That's a tough one. I would take the gun away or have it taken away.
It's a tough one, dude.
Alzheimer's is, if you've ever seen it personally, it's clear they shouldn't be owning firearms and handling them.
I don't ever want to see it, but it's terrible to take somebody's rights away. But I can begin to see this one. And I hate that I'm saying that. They go on to say a lot of elderly male suicides happen with firearms and stuff like that, and that's okay. I don't know. Statistics are statistics, and they say. While there are few reports of the elderly gun owners shooting relatives or caregivers, older white males have the highest suicide rate in the country, and 71% of the time they use a gun. Okay. Study done by who? Being funded by who? For what? But the point is, or their point is that some healthcare providers and stuff, people who send out nurses to other places and stuff, they'll require that the elderly people remove all the firearms from their house before they send a nurse to go take care of your bedpan and stuff like that. Fascinating.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. This article starts out just with a story about a guy who kind of takes care of his old biddy, and he's afraid that she's going to shoot him because she's hallucinating and she's blah, blah, blah. So what do you think, Paul? Do you think these elderly people should have to pass certain tests to keep their Second Amendment rights?
That's a tough question. It really is. I would say, hurts me to say this, but yes.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm thinking too. It sucks. I don't know. I'm going to regret saying that too. It's a horrible thing. What would Gresham think, dude? He'd kick us in the nuts.
I think he would agree, honestly. I think he would. I've heard him shoot down people with their medical marijuana cards carrying guns.
Yep.
I think it's pretty much the same situation.
You're going to hate it when I tell you that, quote, the Federal Brady Act bars gun sales to anyone adjudicated with mentally defective, a legal process few children want to put their parents through. So what we're kind of hinting at is that we're in support of possibly using this to maybe enforce the possibility or require, or maybe you just kind of encourage your senile old biddy grandma to go be tested, and then they'll what? Take them away. It's a terrible thing. See, what sucks about it, Paul, is that we're assuming that a family member can't talk to the elderly person, can't reason with the elderly person. It's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing. What do we just encourage? Hey, Paul, you distract grandma while I take her pistol.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or the legalities of that as well.
Wow.
There are plenty of cases where elderly have defended themselves.
Oh, totally. That's a great point, because, I mean, I'm almost reading once a week where some old biddy, some old lady pulls out her single barrel break action shotgun, defends her home and her cans of soup and her little dog.
10,000 cats.
10,000 cats. You can check us out on thebuffertube.com. Thanks for listening.